Today in the Audio Hotline studio, I have the PreSonus PD-70. PreSonus? Regardless, it's the PD-70. It's a relatively new microphone that's a broadcast dynamic microphone. But this is a very friendly price on a broadcast dynamic microphone. This comes in at about $130. Yes, there are some other microphones like this, the BCD-1 from MXL. There's also the Rode PodMic. Those microphones are around this price tag as well. But it's always fun to see a new broadcast dynamic microphone in general, but especially when it's, close to $100. It makes it even more fun to try them out. And if you want to navigate through it all, there will be some timestamps, but before we get too specific with this microphone, let's do one thing real quick. Let's get mic'd. Welcome all audio nerds to the Audio Hotline, and as I said before, this is the PreSonus PD-70. I will be comparing this to some microphones, actually a decent amount of microphones. But don't be fooled though, this is a review for the PD-70. It is not a comparison video, even though there are comparisons in the video. Yeah. Just to throw this out there though, I was not sent this microphone by PreSonus. I did purchase this all on my own. Paid for it. Full price. I don't know, there's just something so fun about trying out new broadcast dynamic microphones. It's just like, I don't know why I think it's like more fun than other microphones, but I do. I just think it's a good time. Hey, don't get jealous, don't get rowdy over there. I like all kinds of microphones, but there's just something fun about broadcast dynamics. But this is actually the first PreSonus microphone that I've tested out on this channel. So I was definitely interested to get one on here and give it a shot. I mean, first impressions are that it does resemble the Shure SM7b. I feel like I say that about a lot of broadcast dynamic microphones, like the MV7 that I just tried out and everything, but this one, even more so, looks like an SM7b, especially when you take the windscreen off. That is an SM7b right there. You don't believe me? Well, there you go. There's your evidence, sir. But in all reality, the SM7b is $400. This is $130. So the SM7b should sound quite a bit better. But don't worry, the SM7b will be in the comparison here in a little bit. But let's get back on track and talk about the PD-70. Let me go ahead and tell you what comes in the box when you purchase this microphone. When you purchase the PreSonus PD-70, it will come with some documentation. It will come with a 5/8 inch to 3/8 inch microphone stand adapter. It will come with a mounting bracket attached to the microphone, and also a windscreen. And of course, you'll get the microphone itself, the PreSonus PD-70. Now, when it comes to the accessories and what's included with this microphone, for $130, it's good. The build quality feels really great, and yeah, you don't get a ton of flashy stuff with it. You don't get a cable, you don't get a bag, you don't get a case, nothing like that. But the fact that this is a broadcast dynamic microphone for $130 that's built really well, that's all you need for that price. That's good. As long as I can mount it, that sounded weird. As long as I can mount it onto a microphone stand, that's awesome. That's what I want. That's what I need. Having the windscreen is definitely a plus. But overall, just the build quality being as good as it is, fantastic. Amazing. Great. Thank you. But now that we've talked about what comes with this microphone, now let's go ahead and talk about what comes in the microphone. Let's go ahead and talk about some specs. The PreSonus PD-70 is an XLR broadcast dynamic microphone. This has a sensitivity of 1.6 millivolts with a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. This microphone has a cardioid polar pattern and an output impedance of 350 ohms. Now, when it comes to the frequency response graph of this microphone, there is a dip in the low end, and quite honestly, there are some minor bumps and boosts throughout the whole frequency, but overall, it does have a pretty boosted high end. I will say when it comes to the specs of this microphone, I do wish that they would have provided a little bit more information about it. Well, now that we've gone through the basics and the specs of this microphone, now let's go ahead and start testing this microphone out. During this testing, I will use the windscreen sometimes and take it off, but I'll label whatever I'm doing down in the lower third of this video. Today I am using my Zoom F6 to record this at plus 34 decibels. I'm currently not using a mic activator or anything like that. There is no post-processing on the microphone because I'm not an asshole. But if I put any post-processing on it, I will of course label it. Let's go ahead and kick it off with a proximity effect test. When you get really close to the PreSonus PD-70 without a windscreen on, give it a little sniff. I actually only just caught my own breath, which I need to work on that. I should go fix that real quick. Now, if you get really close to this microphone with the windscreen on, give it a little sniffy sniff. It smells like hazardous cancer material, which all of my phone windscreens have a cancer warning on them. Kind of scary. Now let's go ahead and test some plosives. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled peanutses. 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 Now, if you were thinking about getting this microphone for YouTube gaming, here's how it would sound with some MX Cherry Blues behind it, and I'm just wailing on these keys, man. Now let's go ahead and test this polar pattern with a white noise test. Now if I just slowly turn this microphone to the side, here's how it sounds. Going to the back, here's how it sounds. Now if I'm some sort of psychopath that hates the look of microphones, so I want to get it out of my camera shot, here's how it would sound about 2.5 feet away from me. Now if you want to get this microphone for podcasting or voiceover, or anything where you're going to be putting some post-processing on it, here's how it would sound with a high-pass filter, just to get rid of some rumble, nothing too serious. I'll add some compression, maybe a limiter, maybe a de-esser. I don't know, but I'll definitely label it. But here's how it sounds with the post-processing and a windscreen on. And just quickly, here is the same post-processing, but with no windscreen on. Now I'm just going to test if the windscreen changes the tone of the microphone at all. Here's with the windscreen, and here is without the windscreen. Once again, with the windscreen. And once again, without a windscreen. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you some real quick comparisons to some other microphones. Here is the sound of the PreSonus PD-70 broadcast dynamic microphone. Now I have the $100 Rode PodMic plugged into the Zoom F6 with the gain set at about plus 36 decibels. Now I have the classic, old reliable Shure SM58 plugged in. No, this isn't a broadcast dynamic microphone, but it's a dynamic microphone that could be used for broadcast. But here's how this microphone sounds going into the Zoom F6 at plus 30 decibels. And now here is the microphone that makes no sense to have in this comparison because it's $400. But anyway, here is the Shure SM7b at plus 42 decibels in the Zoom F6. Right here we have the MXL BCD-1 plugged into the Zoom F6 at plus 28 decibels. This microphone comes in at about $150-ish. Here is the PreSonus PD-70 broadcast dynamic microphone going into the Zoom F6. And for comparison's sake, here is once again the $100 Rode PodMic. Here is the $100 handheld dynamic microphone, the Shure SM58. Here is the Shure SM7b, very popular broadcast dynamic microphone. Once again, substantially more expensive than all of these microphones. Here is the MXL BCD-1 $150 broadcast dynamic microphone, and here is how it sounds. And one last time, here is the PreSonus PD-70 dynamic microphone. And one last time, here is the sound of the Rode PodMic versus all the other microphones that are in this thing. And one last time, here is the sound of the Shure SM58 going into the Zoom F6. And one last time, here is the very popular Shure SM7b, not only popular for broadcast and podcasting and everything, but also popular for singing as well. But here is how it sounds. Here is the little bit more expensive than the PD-70 MXL BCD-1 broadcast dynamic microphone. Well, now that we've gone through the basics and the specs and we tested this microphone out, now I'm going to go ahead and get to my review, my opinion of the PreSonus PD-70. Now, I just want to say right off the bat, I am very impressed by this microphone. And quite honestly, for $130, there are not many things that I can say that are bad about it. I honestly feel like it holds its own against the SM7B. It actually can sound a little bit like the SM7B when you have the high-end boost on the SM7B engaged. If you are in that $100 price tag looking at the Rode PodMic, maybe take a closer look at this. Future Bronson here, real quick. I did just want to jump in real quick and just say that I do like the PD-70 more than the BCD-1, which is actually more expensive. But quite frankly, I love the price. I love the build quality. It sounds good. Is the sound absolutely perfect? No, I do think there is some sibilance, but overall, it sounds full, it sounds good, it sounds clear. But this one has enough low end, it sounds good, it's very solid for the price. And usually my review sections are way longer than this, but truthfully, I just like it. I just think it's very solid. Would it be cool if it had a high pass filter or a 20 decibel pad? Yes. But for $130, I think this is a very good deal. And overall, I am very happy with this purchase. But audio is very subjective. Different people have different tastes, different expectations, so definitely get the microphone that you think is going to work for you. But my grade for the PreSonus PD-70 is an A. Like I said, the build's good, the price is good, the sound is good. It's all good, man. Thank you for watching this review of the PreSonus PD-70. I hope it helped you out, helped you decide whether you want to get one of these or not, but most of all, I hope you had fun. Stay tuned for a lot more reviews and comparisons and some other little videos. A gigantic thank you to all of my subscribers. You are the best people in the world. And that's a damn fact. It's on Wikipedia. So that makes it true. Yeah, I wrote it. So what? But seriously though, thank you all for subscribing and watching. But if you want to help this channel out, I do have some merch available that I'll have a link down in the description. But thank you all for watching the Audio Hotline. I'll see you audio nerds next time.